Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. It's Hila here from Saturday Night Stitch, and today's post is a little bit different. It starts off with some fabric that I've been a little bit too precious about, and it's this Liberty Tana Lawn fabric that I bought last year from Fabworks. I know that I want to sew an Alder Shirtdress from it, but I can't seem to be able to make up my mind whether I should make the bum ruffle version, which is version B, or the straightforward A-line version, which is version A. So I thought, why don't I share with you all of my versions of the Alder Shirtdress, and maybe you guys could help me make a decision. So basically, Grainline Studio, I've got the Alder Shirtdress pattern, which comes in these two versions, and I love the pattern. And all of the ones that I have, they do get just as much wear as each other. So the first time that I made this was in August 2015, and I used a fabric that I bought from B&M Fabrics in Leeds Market, and it's a cotton lawn fabric. I called this my leap of faith dress because I didn't actually make a toile. I know, but it was really lucky. It turned out really well, and that's because my bust, waist, and hip measurements fit squarely into one of the Grainline Studio sizes. And I have to say that this fabric has held up incredibly well given how much I wear this dress and how much it's been in rotation for the last 3 years or so. And as you can see, there isn't that much pilling or bobbling with the actual fabric. And I actually monogrammed this. It's one of the few items that I actually monogrammed because I loved it so much when I finished it. And this was before I had my own personalized labels. I didn't do a lot of fancy stuff with this particular dress. As you can see, it's just got plain insides because it was my first time and I was just still trying to figure out how to sew a collar properly. And so by the time I made the second one, I decided to experiment in January 2016, and I actually made the bum ruffle version. It's a bum ruffle because it's got like this interesting gathered skirt portion. I don't know how to call it, but if you look at it, you can see that on the back of it, it's got this gathered portion which creates a ruffle. Now, when I actually sewed this up, right, I thought that maybe I'm going to take in the size and give it a more fitted silhouette, but I decided against that, and I'm so glad I did because ever since then my guiding philosophy has been to actually see what the designer wanted for the dress before I go in and make my own alterations. And I'm so glad I did because even though it was a silhouette that I at the time wasn't interested in, I have come to love this particular version so much. The fabric is a John Calder cotton lawn that I got from Minerva Crafts, and it actually came in two colorways, and I bought both the colorways. That's how much I liked it. The color has faded just a little bit, and the fabric has had some pilling, not too much though, not enough to stop me from wearing it, but it's had some pilling. It hasn't maintained its original brightness and its original surface sheen. And I also used some self-covered fabric buttons there, and you can see some of the close-up details where you've got a corner stitching, and that was my first time sewing a corner in a fabric, and I was quite pleased with how that turned out. The instructions on the sew along for the Grainline Studio, which you can find on their website, and I'll put the link down below in the description box, are absolutely excellent. And that's just what I used. I didn't even use the instructions that came with the pattern itself. I just used the sew along. Again, nothing fancy on the inside because I was still, at the beginning stages of my sewing journey. I did play around with doing faux French seams and tried to do different techniques with the seams. The next one I made in May 2016 using one of my most precious fabrics, which was this Nani Arrow poncho fabric. And I can't tell you how much I love this. I know I'm not technically speaking supposed to have favorites, but this is definitely up there. If you've ever sewn with Nani Ira double gauze, you will know that the fabric just feels so delicious and lush against the skin, and it's so comfortable. And with this particular style, I actually like to wear it with a slim belt, just like that. And that just gives it, a little bit more of a casual vibe, I think. So with this particular one, I tend to wear it with the belt quite a lot. So I thought I'd show you how I tend to style it. For the collar, I decided not to put the upper collar and just have a mandarin collar, and that's because the Nani Ira double gauze fabric is not very stiff and crisp like a cotton, which is what would work better with a collar. But I was beginning to be a little bit more adventurous, and I used a different fabric for the inside of the undercollar there, and that's a cotton and steel fabric scrap that I used for that. I also did some fabric covered buttons with this one, and I made sure that the buttons were covered with the bits that are the colored splodges, so the buttons literally look like candy, and it's just a little feature that I love so much about this particular dress. So I was very happy with it. I put pockets in it, although I never actually used the pockets, and I'm not sure why I did that. And you can see on there the inside where you can see the armhole binding, and you can see some of my hand stitching that I did on the actual undercollar. So then I made another one in January 2017, and it was a bum ruffle version using some chambray fabric that I got from White Tree Fabrics. Now this one, you might notice that it's slightly longer than the previous bum ruffle version, and that's because I added 1 inch to the hem. And I still put in the 2 pockets, even though I don't actually use them, but I think they kind of add to the symmetry. I'm so proud of that collar. That is the best collar I have ever sewn. Full stop. I don't think I've ever done anything better than that since then. And that's because the fabric was just a beautiful, lovely fabric to work with. And you can see there the gathering detail on the back. And it's just a really nice dress. I mean, I tend to wear it with the top 2 buttons unbuttoned for a more casual look. I also wear this a lot in winter, layered over a turtleneck top and some leggings and some boots. And oh, I just found out that I didn't actually do a proper sewing job on the undercollar there, so I have to go back and hand sew it, showing you that not everything is always perfect when you make it. But it's, again, it's a dress that I love to wear, and it's one of those that actually I wear in summer and in winter as well, like I said, layered with a roll neck and some leggings and boots. And then finally, I made one in April 2017 for my Minerva Craft Blogger Network make using one of my all-time favorite fabrics that I've ever worked with, and that's at Gallery Denim Chambray. And this particular print is called Painterly Wash, and I love this print so much. It is so vibrant and so beautiful, and this has been washed several times, but it still has the same vibrancy and brightness. And you know, though art gallery fabrics are a little bit more expensive to buy, they're so totally worth it for the quality that you get. Now, when I made this, I was going through a deconstructed shirt dress phase, and I decided to sort of like play around with it by draping it onto my mannequin, and then I moved things around so that I could create that deconstructed look with the button band. And I did a lot more stuff on the inside, so I used a solid color for the inner shoulder yoke, and I used some floral bias binding for the armholes, and I also added pockets because I'd always felt like the Alder shirt dress is as perfect as it could get, but it was missing pockets. And you can see there some of the detail of the alterations that I made to create the zigzag look on the button placket, and that was just me pinning it out and then hand sewing everything down. And I did the hand sewing so that I have the option of going back to just the normal view if I ever wanted to in the future. So the deconstructed look has just been created by hand sewing, and I'm showing you on the other side there how I did that. And those little bits of fabric are to support the buttons so that the fabric where the button has been sewn on doesn't show too much wear and tear. But yeah, this was such a fun project to make because I sort of went off-road, and then I was trying to figure out how can I make it work, how can I create this look that I wanted, and it was quite stunning and I love it. So coming back to this fabric, I need your help, guys. I am suffering from decision fatigue, so just, you know, let me know in the comments box down below, what should I be making with this beautiful Liberty Tana Lawn? Should it be view A or view B? Let me know in the comments box down below. I would really appreciate it. If you've stayed this long, thank you so much. You're a rock star. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please do give it a big thumbs up. And I will be back soon with another video on something to do with sewing. So do subscribe for new sewing related videos every week. Until I see you next time, happy sewing. Bye.